Hello? Good morning, Hunter. Hunter, can you hear me? Hunter, can you hear me? Hunter? Hunter, I can't hear you. Can you hear me? Tom, can you hear me? Can anybody hear me?
Hello.
Hi, Madeline.
How's it going?
Okay,
Excited to get this done with?
I am. Did you have to unmute yourself?
You had to
Oh, there
unmute
it is.
everybody, and then I had to unmute myself after that. Yes.
Okay.
Hey, Dan.
Hi.
Looked like there was three of you in the meeting for a minute there. I was like, that's a lot of Dan.
Yeah, well, I have to have one that's logged in so that I'm logged in on another computer to capture the meeting and stream it.
Okay, I figured out how to mute. Did you get my slide yesterday?
It's fixed.
The picture one too that I sent?
No, I didn't get a picture. What do you mean a picture one?
Yesterday I sent a picture just because
Yes, that's fixed.
okay.
And I
Yeah.
fixed the one you sent me this morning.
Yeah, I noticed it said M liabilities and it's like that's not correct, so.
Hi, Dano.
Good morning. Hunter, can you talk now? You have to unmute yourself.
Hopefully I can.
That was my fault.
No, that was my fault. I was on a Macintosh, and I didn't get on Google Chrome. I tried to get on through Safari, and it didn't like me.
Okay.
Anyway, can you see me and hear me okay?
I cannot see you. I can hear you.
Okay, let me see if I can get video up. I clicked both of those. I clicked both of them.
Yeah, the video is not option.
Okay, one moment. I have a lot of people who are emailing me stuff, not from the board, so it's going to take me a minute.
Okay. My computer heard you and put that into a search thing.
Hi, Dan.
Morning. Can you turn on your video now?
Ha! Yes.
I don't know if you want that.
Well, here's the problem. Everybody will show up, not just the board members. So I thought there was a way to do just board members, but there isn't. So
Okay.
It's okay, you don't need me.
Willard, do you I'm gonna mail you, Willard, a link to the proxies.
Okay.
It's already shared with you, but I'm giving it to you anyway. And I'm also going to
All right, I just received it. Let me open it up.
I'm also going to send you a link to people who registered. Nice dog.
Nice puppy.
Ah, now you can hear me.
There you go.
Yeah, there's Nala.
What's she doing there?
Yeah.
You house sitting?
Yeah, we're dog sitting. Chris
Okay.
he's in Little Cayman doing 3 dives a day.
Oh, that's too bad.
I know.
Okay, Dan, I've opened up this spreadsheet. It looks like there's about 24 people voting by proxy.
Yes. I'll be right back.
Hi, Marty.
Did you come in the door? Did you come in the door like a big girl? Hmm? All right.
Hey, Sally.
So it looks like we need an additional, we need 74 for a quorum, is that correct?
You'll have to ask again, Willard, because Dana was off for a minute.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the spreadsheets and not the screen. It looks like we need 74 for a quorum, is that right, Dan? You're on mute?
Willard, give me a minute, okay?
Yeah, no worries.
Go with your best guess right now.
Mhm.
What?
I'm laughing at Chris's cat.
So, Willard? Gonna be a lot of that going on. So, Willard?
Willard, you're on mute. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, sorry.
Yes, the spreadsheet says we need 73, and we
Mhm.
have, it says 9 votes received. I don't think Chris's math is correct there.
Yeah.
It is not correct, I don't believe.
Not sure how he gets that.
Don't worry about it. It's 25.
And are these votes for the slate?
I didn't look at the individual emails.
Mhm. One of these proxy votes was given to Glenn Schweikert, but sounds like he's not a member in good standing at this point. So we might have to discount that.
I emailed that person and asked if they wanted to give their proxy to someone else.
Mm-hmm. Looks like we have 27 joining.
I added another proxy, Willard. So you have 26
Okay.
now.
So we have 26, okay.
Good morning, everybody.
Good morning, Dan.
Morning.
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 Good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Willard, could you do a roll call for the board, please?
Hold on a moment, Dan.
By the way, Chris Callahan just joined.
Why? He's in vacation.
I wonder the same thing.
I got a half hour until my last flight.
Where are you going, Chris?
Currently in Grand Cayman, heading to Little Cayman for some scuba diving.
Oh, awesome.
Okay, let's do a roll call for the board. Dan O'Neill,
Present?
Mark Rose,
Present.
Becca,
Here.
Tom,
Here.
Ellen,
Here.
and I'm here. That's Willard. Emil,
Here.
let's see, the new lieutenant position is, remind me here.
Sally.
Sally, I'm
Alright.
sorry. Sally
Here.
Scoville. Then we have Maddie,
I'm here.
Natalie. No, not here, Chris, and I think that's it for the board. So that's 9 board members, Dan.
Okay. Some people put in their proxies last night and this morning, so let me get those all in. It'll just take me a minute. Willard, you sent in a proxy vote for yourself?
I did, but you can disregard that
Okay, I will.
because I'm here.
Yes.
It's just in case I didn't survive the morning practice.
I see. Oh, congratulations.
It came close. When we got to 36, I was wondering.
Yeah, well.
Chris Callahan, when was the last time you went through and updated all these proxies?
Yesterday morning. If the email is marked as read, then I have not gotten to it.
Okay. For all our guests and members, I apologize for this little housekeeping. Okay.
I don't see the sheet updating live. Maybe I need to go to the link.
Just wait. Just wait. We have 38 proxy votes now.
Okay.
Okay. All right, everybody, welcome to I think we can open. How many people do we have online? We have
We have 30 people calling in. There are 2 of us here. I think there are others with 2 on each call. So should we call that 32?
Oh, let's go down the list. I've got the list of people up here. So I've got myself, Andrew Brooks, Becca Peninga, Chad Cunningham, Chris Shannon, Chris Callahan, I see 2 Chris's. One's Chris Shannon, the other one is, I'm not sure. Okay. Dave Ward, Donna Cox, Donna Vehar, Ellen, Emil, Hans Baumgartner. Hi, Hans. The gentleman who got me wrong.
Hello. Glad to do.
Romy. So it's all Hans's fault. Hunter, Jackie,
I
Jan.
think Wilson was with Jackie.
I'll write his name down separately. Janet, Janine, Madeline, Marnie, Richard Cosgrove, or Richard C. as we know him from this morning. Rob Hibbler, Sally Scoville, Cherie Sanchez, Tom Hezig, and Willard Foss.
I've lost count, but I'm counting right now.
Did you mention Hiromi?
It looks like it's 28. I have Tammy here, and
Okay.
do we have? Okay, so let's call that 29.
Okay, we do not have a quorum, but we're going to go on without it.
Yeah.
Here's one more face.
Okay.
Let's call it 30.
Did you count Wilson?
Yes.
Hey, Dan, this is Rich. Does Ian count as a member in full standing because he's a college student or not?
He does not count.
Okay.
Laura Colban and Wayne just joined. So that's 32.
32.
Dan, I got an email from Jessica Rivas who didn't get the invite. I'm going to send it to her right now because she wants to join as well.
Okay.
Dan, is there any way to tell how many are watching on YouTube? Because I initially started just on YouTube because I wasn't planning on speaking. So there's probably any number doing
Sure,
that.
the instructions were pretty clear. If you want to vote, you have to join this meeting.
Hey, and Dan, it's Janet. I'm not the most computer literate, but I had to text Donna V hard today to get the link.
I understand.
Maybe there's a handful of others that just said, okay, I didn't get a link, I'm not on.
I sent you a screenshot of the email that was sent to you last night.
Yep, no, and I got it, and I'm on, but I just want to let you know, people like the Kempers, I'm texting Kathy right now to
Okay.
just to find out if they're having trouble.
Sure.
What is the quorum requirement?
It's 73 today, and we have 70 right now.
So Jess Rivas just joined us. Hi, Jess.
I see. Let me recount.
I'm texting all the Jedi who are missing.
Yep.
And Rich, was it your son who was joining us?
He's here, but it sounds like he doesn't count because he's a college student.
Okay, so I still have 32.
Ingrid Campbell.
Okay, that's 33.
A second Ingrid Campbell. Barry Randall.
Did Barry just join?
Yes.
Okay, so that's. We need one more.
I was watching on YouTube also and then decided to join. We're running out of people.
And Bruce Campbell is here too.
All right, so.
Make an announcement for people on YouTube to jump over into the meeting.
Okay.
When you're counting, you should be counting up. Wayne and I are here. So just we are two, not one.
Yeah, we
All
got
right.
two for you.
I think we have a quorum with that.
I did just post a link on SportsU in as many teams as I'm in so that people can see it if necessary. So at least that's there.
Okay. Dan, I think we have quorum. I think we should get going.
Okay. Well, welcome everybody to the 2022 meeting. I hope that next year we'll be in person. This is a Google Meet. It's not Zoom, so it works a little differently. We use we use Google Meet because it comes as part of our suite of Office products from Google for no cost. Chris Callahan is on vacation, but he's in the meeting with us. He's going to do some scuba diving. Willard Foss is the secretary for this meeting. Hunter Butler will lead our nominating committee at the end. And the meeting is being streamed and recorded. Questions and answers, please submit them in the chat portion of the Meet interface. That you'll see that at the bottom right of your computer screen. There's a little text box. And just the board here serves at the pleasure of the membership. We're all unpaid volunteers, and we like providing the service of the rowing club to you. Okay, Willard, we did the roll call already, and we have a quorum.
Yep.
Can I add that Seth Burns is in Chicago watching on YouTube and cannot get on the other method, but I think he should count as present.
Okay. Leslie Bouchard just joined.
Yeah, I just heard from both Scott and Kathy Kemper, and they, same with me, they said they never got the link, but I'll send them a note telling them how to get on.
That's fine. It's hard for me not to control what goes into people's spam folders or not. So okay, so our meeting was called to order at what time, Willard? 10:15? 10:17?
10:16.
10:16 a.m. Okay, so the first thing is the minutes from the last meeting, which are here for approval by the membership. So let me give you some highlights first. People keep joining. This is great. Ed Parrish. So we were able to retain all our employees. We've completed the locker rooms. We did the virtual crew classic, which secured lane 1 for many of our boats for 2022. The workbench upgrade was completed by Chris Callahan's father and his uncle, who built all the cabinets for us up in Oregon and brought them down, and they turned out beautifully. We retired the venerable podium up front and added the iCrew and our news kiosks, which are working okay. We're back into 8s, 4s, and other big boats as of April 2021. That was pretty exciting. Most of our social activities have returned, and we replaced the 30-year-old manual roll-up doors with nice electric doors. One of our longtime members, a 50-year member, said it's the best improvement to the boathouse he's ever seen. So, we made some progress in DEI, but we're not where we want to be or where we'll end up being. And it was a banner year for donations with $96,000 given to us by generous donors and foundations, and more about that later. We also initiated a high performance group, which is new for San Diego Rowing Club. Okay, moving on to the minutes, I'm going to turn this over to Willard.
You caught me mid-chew here, Dan. I'm sorry. Just a review of last year's annual general meeting minutes. It was attended by all board members. We had a vote to approve the slate. The nominating committee was Ed Parrish, Leslie Bouchard, and Donna Vihar. In the elections, the proposed slate was voted in, and that was President Dan O'Neill, First Vice President Mark Rose, Second Vice President Becca Peninga, Captain Tom Pezic, Treasurer Ellen Minter, Secretary Willard Foss, Lieutenant Katrine Skowski, Lieutenant Maddie Felix, and Lieutenant Emil Wall. There were a number of awards given. Let me get to that. Do you have that up on the screen there?
Do I have what up on the screen?
It's
Yeah.
on the previous page.
There it is. The captain's award went to Ralph Johnson, and the president's award went to Ivers Yammers. Following the meeting, following the adjournment, there was a nice video honoring Jane for her service as captain over many years. All right, so that's a summary of the meeting minutes from last meeting.
Okay, so the membership gets to vote on this. Hang on, sorry. Okay, so for all of those who are in, there's a poll. If you click bottom right-hand side of your screen, there's a thing with triangles and circles and squares. And you can click on the poll and vote yes or no.
Do you see the results of the poll there, Dan?
I do.
Okay.
I see 23 votes so far.
I'm sorry, Dan, I was offline there. Tell me again how to vote.
Bottom right-hand corner of your screen, there's a triangle, square, and circle. And I'm showing everyone the results now. Hi, Laura. We will count you and Wayne. Your votes is twice. We will count you together. I see 24 votes.
Jackie and Wilson want to vote twice also.
Okay.
Seth Burns has just sent me a note saying that I'm his proxy. This is David Ward. He votes in favor of the minutes too.
Okay.
And count 2 votes for me, Dan, for Tammy and me.
And Donna Weston also votes in favor.
I don't see a voting box on my screen, but I vote in favor. That's Barry.
Okay. Thank you, Barry. I see 30 so far. I have a count of 30, Willard.
Okay. And I see no votes. So should we consider this minutes approved?
Yes. Thank you, everybody. Okay. Let me get back to the presentation. Okay, the treasurer's report. So Ellen Minter is our treasurer, and I'm going to turn the meeting over to her. We can't hear you, Ellen. You're muted.
That would help. So Chris was nice enough to help me put all these numbers in here. So this is just a breakdown of the total revenue for 2021. It is like 68% is the masters, and then the juniors, and a small percentage is the Gardy. And you want to go to the next slide, it shows. So this is showing how the revenue trend, and obviously 2020 was a big drop and everybody knows it's due to COVID, but compared to 2019 pre-COVID levels, operations is back up over pre-COVID levels. Juniors are still down about 17% from pre-COVID levels. And obviously the Guardy is about half of what it was, but we expect the Guardy to be back up to pre-COVID levels with this summer's activities. If you want to go to the next slide, the cash balances. So this is the equipment. Oh, no, I'm sorry.
This is the next slide is the equipment purchase.
Okay, yes, that's fine. So this just shows basically how much we've invested in equipment over the years. 2019, we put $197,000 into new boats, oars, and launches. And last year we drew way back, obviously bought some singles last year, but didn't do a lot of investing because we weren't really up and running. And then this year we've put in, shows 176,000. So you want to go to the next one? So this just trends the cash balance for the boathouse over the years. The 724 was pre-COVID, and then during 2020 we spent $322,000 on the bathroom project, and that was the main reason for the reduction in cash. You've also received some cash from other funds like government programs, which I'll talk about later, and then we're slowly getting back up to our cash balances before we did the big project of the bathrooms. So, and another thing about this. Okay, go ahead. That's fine. Sorry.
Going back.
Sorry, go to the next one. Sorry. So this is just our asset balances, and you can see it's trending upwards. We expect about $200,000 in depreciation expense this year, so that will be more like $2.6 million in assets. It just shows we're adding value to our boathouse. One thing you also notice is we have, which actually the slide doesn't show, but we have no debt, which is a great thing. So basically, we're total assets equals pretty much total equity. So the boathouse is really strong, and management's done a great job of not acquiring debt and increasing assets. Do you want to go to the next one?
Tell me when.
Yeah. So this is basically the same thing. It's just showing the same trend that assets and equipment and building are going upwards. So we can go to the next one.
Well, it also shows that we did have debt, and that debt has been all retired.
Yeah. And most of that debt was the truck loan, and we now fully own the truck. No debt. And we did receive PPP loans, but both of those were forgiven, so we're debt-free, which is a great place to be. The next one. And this is just highlights. Dan mentioned that we raised $120,000 in fundraising, and those are the breakdown of where we got the money. So $35,000 was in the boat naming, $26,000 was in the gala and paddle raiser, $53,000 in boat sales, $6,000 in ergs, and then a $2,000 donation of stock. So we had a great year for fundraising last year. And the boathouse continues to be very fiscally responsible. They, for anything's purchased, we go through a set of criteria that has to be met. So everything is very conservative and strong for our future of keeping going. In the next slide. So, and then finally, revenues back up to pre-COVID levels. We did receive $190,000 in PPP funds and $10,000 in the EIDL loan grant. Both those were forgiven fully. And then we also received $55,000 for 2020 for an employee retention credit, and we expect to receive $170,000 from 2021. I think that's a typo. close to 170,000 for employee tax credit in 2021. And
should it be 70,000? Should be 70,000.
Yeah,
it's a typo.
Okay, sorry. Yeah, I'm like, wow, that number went up. But yeah, $70,000 this year for actually it's 100,000. We're receiving an additional $78,000.
Okay.
We haven't received it. And then we didn't have to lay off any staff during COVID, and the government funds were used to pay for the entire, not the entire, but it was a big part of retaining the staff without having to lay people off, even though we weren't rowing as a team for over 15 months. So that's basics for the treasurer's report. And overall, we're in a very strong financial position, and the management continues to be conservative and see great things going forward. So
Thank you, Ellen.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Captain's report. This will be given by Tom Pezzi.
Hello, everyone. Just wanted to first say a couple of things. I wanted to give a big thank you to Jane. I don't think she's on this meeting, but she's been an awesome help with all of her experience helping me figure out how the heck to be the captain. And I feel like I'm still learning and still working to fill her shoes, but I just wanted to give her a quick shout out just to express how much I appreciate all of her help. Also wanted to quickly thank the 3 lieutenants. Katrina for all of her tireless effort and work with the DEI stuff, Emil for also helping with the DEI and everything he does, particularly with the Access Fund to keep expanding the availability of rowing to everyone. And last but not least, Maddie, who seems to pick up just every single little task behind the scenes that I can possibly ask her to do. So just wanted to say thank you very much to all 3 of you for all of your efforts over the past year. And I just hope the whole club recognizes how much everyone's been really pitching in and been a great help. So here we've got, just if you want to take a look at it, it's a list of all the equipment that we've kept and maintained with all the efforts of Chris Callahan and Ivers to keep everything up and running and in great shape. I think we can kind of click through that there, Dan. And more of the equipment as well as it keeps growing and expanding, and we keep our fleet updated and relevant. We can keep going through. And a quick summary of all the equipment that Chris somehow finds to store in our boathouse. I won't go through all of it right now, but I will note that we're also acquiring a new set of sweep oars with the latest and greatest technology from C2 with those kind of goofy looking comp blades. But you've probably seen them around the boathouse, but just know that we'll have a full set of those of ours to keep and hopefully keep making boats faster. We could click through. I kind of wanted to talk about the club growth as I was kind of looking back at 2020, but I kind of gave up on it. Finding the numbers from 2020 was almost a waste of time, just with dealing with all of COVID and all the struggles and the difficulties that we've all gone through to deal with that. So I just replaced those numbers with our good friend over there. But I did want to highlight, we're up to 350 members and coaches and junior alums. We have 135 junior athletes, which I believe is more than the program's ever had. In addition to that, as Dan mentioned earlier, we've added a new high performance program, which is near and dear to my heart. It's under Sam Stitt's enthusiastic leadership and coaching. And if you've ever had the pleasure of being coached by Sam, you know exactly what I mean. And we are very lucky to have him pushing that group along. Just as a little bit of quick background about it, for anybody who's not familiar with it, it's an effort to kind of reach out to a group of athletes who tend to get a little bit underserved in some ways. It tends to be that sweet spot of young men and women who have just recently graduated from college, are fully capable of competing at a really high level, but maybe don't have a place to go and keep training at the highest level to make it to, from a world championships or world club or a World Cup race or Pan Am Games or even the Olympics. So this is our effort to kind of help those young athletes succeed and reach their goals and really support them through it. So as a side note, as that program grows and expands, if you're in a position where you have connections to good housing or good employment opportunities for young athletes who are bright and hardworking, I'll be reaching out to all of you in the future as we continue to grow that program and hopefully support those athletes. And then on the right, of course, there's a quick picture of the Cox 4 that we had at the Charles with their medals. So just wanted to kind of highlight them too. And we could keep going through. Maybe I won't go into too much detail about all of this because we had just a ton of great highlights through the 2021 racing season, especially as we move beyond the pretty much lack of racing in 2020. It does start with the Crew Classic that got canceled, but we had, I think, 56 rowers still entering it just to pull one on the erg, which is miserable and is a testament to the dedication of all of our Masters athletes. We finished 4th overall in team points in Masters Nationals, which is impressive as it was about as far across the country as possible. I believe this coming year's is maybe, I'm not sure if it's confirmed, but might be in Oakland. So I'm hoping that we can get an even bigger contingent racing there and get ourselves back up to the very top of that leaderboard. More highlights from the head of the Charles. We had our own Stan, won the Veterans 2 single out of 30 athletes. Kathy Kemper took 2nd in the Senior Veteran 2 single. And we also had those 3rd place results for both our women's 50 Cox 4 as well as the men's 60 Cox 4. In the Fall Classic, I tried to parse through all those results, but there's just too many. We had so many strong crews entered. I think we had 12 entered and we won 6. I think we might have even had more of those, but that was what I could count digging through all those results. We also had some great results on the junior side as that program finally got its legs under it after 2020. We set a club record 28 athletes to youth nationals. We had 8 finishes in the women's youth 4 and the women's U17 Cox 4. Those are the highest level finishes ever for any SDRC junior Cox boat. In the past, I think we've had success with straight boats, but it's great to see that we're breaking into the Cox events as well. 2nd place in that women's youth Cox 4 was the best ever finish for an SDRC crew at youth nationals. And of course, the head of the Charles, we had both the men's and women's youth 8s finish in the top 20 out of a field of, I think, 80 something in each of them of some of the best crews across the country. So always impressive to see our high school level athletes really performing on the national stage. And of course, as I mentioned, we have a high performance program that's starting up. We have 2 women and 3 men in the program. And the Fall Classic, I think, was our inaugural race. We had 1st and 2nd place finishes in the men's open single. For our own Bernie and Coleman, if you've ever met them. They're always around the boathouse, so always go say hi to them if you get a chance. If we get the next slide. Just a quick view of the races that we have coming up in 2020. Everybody knows that the Crew Classic is coming up, and we're gearing up for that one. There's the Southwest Masters Regionals, and something big on the calendar, I think, is Masters Nationals in August, which we don't think we have a date for, but I would strongly encourage anyone and everyone to come race it. It's an absolute blast, and it only becomes more competitive and more fun with a larger contingent of boats out there and a bigger cheering section. So I hope to see everybody on this call throw their hat in the ring for Masters Nationals. And I think that's it. Is that the last slide I've got? Yep, that's it for me. Thanks so much to everybody, and can't wait to race with you all in 2022.
All right. Do we have Natalie on the call? Natalie is our juniors president. She may or may not have been able to make it today. So I'll just go through this briefly. We retained all our coaches. We have, and this is a little bit old because women's varsity and men's varsity has changed basically because we've gone to age groups. But we have figured out how to allocate the coaches appropriately across the age categories. So that is as of 2022. In January, the varsity and novice teams are now combined. They switched to age-based classifications instead of varsity and novice. Junior parents volunteer. The juniors president is Natalie Kraske. She does a great job, comes to our board meetings. As of April, they were allowed back into team boats. Summer camps resumed. We were very popular as an outdoor sport in San Diego, and we had 0 COVID cases reported from our camps. The juniors team started with all middle school and high school teams at full operation like before. And the middle school program was changed from 3 days a week to 2 days a week, which allowed us to expand the number of athletes by 50%, the number of available slots for diversity, equity, and inclusion. Currently, there are 45 middle school athletes, 92 high school athletes. Summer Learn to Row, we saw 350. In the high performance camp, 45. And the high school varsity, 76. And that was spring, summer of 2021. And the middle and high school novice weekend programs always fill up. Okay, President's report. We always need volunteers. Appreciate it when people come to sweep the apron or rebuild the beach in between when the city comes out to do it for us. We need people to help us create the future with our DEI committee, finance, our capital committee, return to rowing, and fundraising. On the finance and capital committees, this is where you, our members, help make decisions about what we buy and how we buy it and what we should do with the resources that are provided to us. Really appreciate everybody who helps with those committees. In our planned events, we're going to have an annual gala and auction. It was wonderful this last year, and the paddle raiser was great and a lot of fun. We'll have another spring boathouse cleanup day. The first cleanup day was just spectacular. It was so amazing to see how much everybody got done. In June, we'll have a National Learn to Row Day. There'll be the games and beach boil, and I hope that Emil will come back and be the MC. He does such a great job. We'll have summer barbecues again. The holiday party will be in December, and we'll do the New Year's Day plunge again. Note on the New Year's Day plunge, I believe that this year marked Chris Anderson's 48th New Year's Day plunge. He's been a member for a long time.
Yikes.
So a little bit on our membership metrics. We are, this is a little out of date. It's okay. We actually hit over 525 members last week, including the juniors and the masters. I will get corrected numbers out in our next newsletter. That is the largest number of people we've had around the boathouse, and it's really a testament to Chris Callahan and the other staff picking up the phone, returning phone calls, answering questions, helping parents feel comfortable with sending their kids down to our programs. They've just done a great job of running the boathouse on a day-to-day basis. I also want to compliment our members on their use of iCrew to reserve boats and just get tremendous usage out of our equipment. Chris Callahan put some numbers into the last newsletter that were truly phenomenal. We're really making good use of what we have and providing a lot of service. So in DEI, we did approve a staff position last year, which got delayed due to COVID-19 concerns. We have 2 people who are working on the job description so that we can start another search right away. We expanded the middle school program by 50% in terms of the number of students that we can support. We find that a lot of people just don't know what rowing is or where it is or that we exist. So we're going to figure out how to do market outreach and ensure that any interested individual has an opportunity. We want to make sure we leverage our community, which may include the YMCA, Boys and Girls Clubs, Scouts. Hold on a second. We have a late comer in the form of Patrick Hoppner. In our opportunity, we can provide many different things. We don't have to gear everything up for one Learn to Row day. We can do custom Learn to Rows. We had a scout troop come in last month. They wanted to do a Learn to Row. We did that for them. The YMCA has in the past included us into some of their summer programs. So we'd like to try to do that again. Erg Ed is worthy of looking at again. Just as a note to everyone, we did try to do Erg Ed a few years ago, and we found that it was difficult to staff and get it going. So it wasn't a matter of money, it was a matter of likelihood of success. Brian Armstrong just joined as well. Then we have to do a lot of follow through, which means you got to turn that one-time engagement into active participants. So you got to call them, see how they felt, and just make sure that they know they're welcome to come back. We also did a lot in funding this last year. We restructured the funds that were available for low-income participants, so that all of those funds were consolidated under one umbrella called the SDRC Access Fund. There are application processes for the Access Fund. We were able to fundraise against the Access Fund. So we received $12,000 in contributions. The juniors take a portion of their budget and contribute it to the Access Fund. And as of September 2021, we had $60,000 to provide rowing opportunities for people who could not otherwise afford to do so. One of the big changes in this fund was the application of it to adult participants as well as youth. I don't know how many adult participants are currently taking advantage of it, but I do know that we have invested over $10,000 to date to qualified athletes who are have a good likelihood of being successful at our sport. And the people that evaluate the applications are coaches, members at large, and 1 or 2 members of the board. And it's all kept anonymous. No one knows who's receiving funding. On the capital plan, we've talked about this. I won't go through too much. We did buy 5 new boats this year, and we had delayed buying big boats because of COVID. We bought some small boats instead, which I think worked out pretty well. The garage doors, lockers got installed in January. The Gardy skylights got replaced. We have a very generous member who donated most of the funding for the bicycle storage lockers in the back. And some of our members have bikes that are several $1,000s, and so they'd like to have them a little more secure. Upcoming, we're going to, we prepared the erg room area when the walls are open for the locker rooms to put in some, what we referred to as a high-tech erg room, which will include some screens, and we're working on what we're going to do with that. So that's ready, and if other people have ideas, just mention them. We'll see what we can do. Development, we had 115 donations, totaling more than $96,000. I'll have to align my numbers with these numbers with the numbers from Ellen. The Hervey Family Fund is an organization that on occasion gives us a large donation. They did it when the Gardy Pavilion was being built, and they've done it at other times. We don't expect it. We don't know when it's going to come in. We're very grateful for it, and we received that this year. We also received $15,000 from Doug Prescott's mother, and some of that went towards a new boat, and some of that went towards the Access Fund. Our top funds were the Access Fund, $33,000 towards boats and equipment. People were very generous in contributing towards the Henley, which is a women's boat, and towards the Glenn Schweikert, a men's boat. The HPG program received $8K, and then we had $8K towards building and equipment, and $25,000 in unrestricted donations. We have 3 board members who are departed this year. Katrina Tchaikovsky, who was tireless in her efforts in the DEI area and represented that well to the board. Emil Wohl, former president of the juniors program, and rode for a while. He is departing us, and we appreciate his steady hand and business acumen when the need arises. Becca Peninga, she's been with us a long time. I think she started rowing when I did about 22 years ago, something close to that. And we will miss all of their input, and we look forward to the people who are coming after them and what they're going to do to make SDRC a great place. Okay, now we're to the Captain's Award. Tom?
Thank you, Dan. Sorry to unmute myself. I think I don't think he's on this meeting, but if you could click forward to the next slide, there's a lot of great folks at the boathouse to choose from, and a little bit of going back and forth. We ended up going with Stan Vagar, who I don't know if you've seen him much at the boathouse, and you probably have, because by my count, he does at least 100K on the water every single week, and I think he probably goes way over that. I think I'm underestimating it. Mark noted in the newsletter that he had an undefeated season in the single. And as I was looking through to verify that, I thought I had an aha moment where I saw that he finished third at national championships out of the half dozen races that he did. But that one turns out to be because he was racing down an age bracket up against the very best in the country. He had a photo finish at that too. So, and of course, last but not least on his resume for the years, he won the Head of the Charles in the Veteran 2 single. Which is always an impressive accomplishment. And you can see him there with his shiny, bright new gold medal in that picture. So big congratulations to Stan. If you ever get a chance to talk to him, he's, I consider myself a pretty big nerd for rowing, and he kind of puts me to shame. The guy knows a lot about everything, and he is always excited to chat about rowing, which I am too. Next time I see him, I'm going to give him I got a little trophy to go with it. It's a belt buckle that just says Captain's Award. And hopefully I'll get one too for next year for whoever wins that guy. I don't know if Stan's a belt wearer, but hopefully he is. So just want to say congrats to Stan, and really excited to see him around the boathouse more and more. And, maybe if I get a chance to try to talk him into racing some 4s and 8s with us as well.
Okay. Thank you, Tom. Sergio just arrived, Willard, for your notes. Okay.
Got it.
So the President's Award. The President's Award tries to be given to people who represent the spirit of competition and camaraderie and family and perseverance that the rowing club prides itself for. And people who are always willing to do things, they pick up a shovel or a broom in the morning, they come for cleanup day, they get out in a boat, and they row to win. And we have this award is being given to 2 people today because they demonstrated not only perseverance through the adversity that we had this last year, but doing something together that might tear other people apart. So this year's award winners for the President's Award are Jackie and Wilson Lai. They rowed a pair together more than 100, at least 100 times last year. And they raced that pair at the Fall Classic. So congratulations to Jackie and Wilson. Your names will be added to the President's Award plaque in the Gardy Pavilion. And I have a bottle of wine for you. So.
And Dan, just a note too, they nearly won the Fall Classic in the men's open pair. I think they were just off a few seconds. It took second place, if that's right.
Yeah, and I think they're still together after rowing a pair for the entire year.
Thank you, Dan.
Oh, you're welcome. You guys deserve it. Okay, moving on. This is where we go to officer elections, and so I'm going to turn this over to Hunter Butler. He is from our nominating committee, and I want to thank Leslie and Donna and Hunter for running the nomination process and doing all the hard work that's necessary to interview potential candidates and then make their recommendation back to the board. So thank you very much. I appreciate it, and I owe you dinner. We will make sure. This is now recorded, so I cannot not taking you guys out to dinner. All right, so this is your 2022 slate for the board, and I believe that's everybody. And Hunter, the floor is yours.
All right. As Dan said, I am Hunter Butler, and part of the process of going through the annual meeting is to nominate and elect a new board of directors for the upcoming year. Dan graciously nominated Leslie Buffard, Dana Behar, and myself to identify potential candidates and interview them and pick out the best personnel to fill the vacancies that come up in the slate of directors for this year. Through the course of our interviews, we came up with Marty Justad and Jackie Lai for the 2 lieutenant positions that were being vacated. And so the proposed slate of the board of directors for 2022 is Dan O'Neill as president, Mark Rose as vice president number 1, Maddie Felix as vice president number 2, Tom Pesick returns as captain, Willard Foss returns as secretary, Ellen Mintier returns as treasurer, Jackie Lai as 1 lieutenant, Marty Justad as the 2nd lieutenant, and Sally Scoville returns as the final lieutenant.
Apologies for the typo in Jackie's last name.
Yes, so the at this point, when the nomination process for any nominations from the floor for any of these positions, if there are any nominations from members in good standing, they can make their nomination now.
Either by raising your hand or putting a note in the chat. Or speaking up. Your choice. Donna? Donna, you raised your hand? Hi, you raised your hand.
Hi, Dan. No, I actually did not.
No, Donna Cox, not Donna Cox.
Oh, sorry. Too many Donnas in our boathouse.
Yeah.
You can never get enough Donnas.
Don, can we check the Donna Cox said, sorry, that was a mistake.
Okay. All right.
So at this point, I'm going to close the nominations from the floor. If there are no other input. Okay, nominations are closed. Call for a vote to be tallied by the secretary. For the slate of directors as proposed.
And a vote has been published. If you click on the triangle, square, and circle, you will see the vote.
If we submitted a proxy, should we vote or should we rely on the proxy?
We'll take you out of the proxy if you're present. So vote.
Dan, I'm looking at the proxies. I believe we have 38 voting for the slate by proxy.
We have 23
Dan,
votes. Go ahead.
I didn't get the ballot. I got the first one. This one didn't come up.
Is this Janine? I will
Yes.
count. I'm counting you.
Thank you. Thank you.
No problem. Anyone else that didn't get the poll? Who would like to voice their vote?
Yeah, this is Barry. I don't see it on my screen, but I had already submitted the proxy.
Okay.
And this is Janet. I got the proxy for Scott and Kathy Kemper, and they voted to approve.
Okay. Thank you, Janet.
So that means 2 more proxies.
Yeah, I'm keeping a tally for you. Will.
Okay.
Anyone else that's online?
So at this point, I will call the voting be completed and the tally be made.
It looks like we have 23 votes from the floor.
It's 23 plus 11, so it's 33. Plus me, so that makes it 34.
Okay, so
Are there any board members who failed to vote? Okay. So I have 34 from this meeting.
And we have 34 from proxies, or excuse me, 38 from proxies. So that's a total of 72.
Yeah, let me check the proxy email one more time.
Mhm. And
there's another one. Got a couple more. Some people are a little late. Better late than never, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What's the number at now?
so is that, so how many more proxies did you have?
Well, the number should be updating live in the spreadsheet for you.
Oh, I have 41 now. So the total is 75, which is sufficient for the number of votes required of 74.
At this point, I declare that the vote for the board of directors for 2022 has been approved, and the slate is approved as submitted, and the new board is officially stated.
Well, thank you, everybody. And welcome to Marnie and to Jackie. We're going to have another great year.
They will be wonderful additions to the board, which is already a wonderful board.
Welcome, Jackie and Marnie.
Okay, Hunter, thank you very much for hosting that part of the meeting. I appreciate it.
Yep.
All right, new business. We don't have any new business. So thank you for coming. The floor is now open for Q&A. So you can either type in your questions or speak up or raise your hand and we'll call on you.
Yes, I have a question.
Sure, go ahead, Ed.
When we negotiated the lease, we had the development commitment that we were going to improve the facility to the city's satisfaction. I'm curious, how close are we to the total? I know we gave them a 25-year commitment, but do you have any idea how far along we are? And has the city been notified of the improvements that we have made to date?
So I don't know the answer to your two questions, but I have written them down.
Okay.
And we'll put them in the newsletter for next month because that's a good thing for everyone to know.
Excellent. Thank you.
I think that the locker room remodels certainly put us, if I recall correctly, the total for the 25 years was $825,000.
Right.
And that was split amongst the colleges and SDRC. And so with $320,000+ spent on the locker room remodels, we're well on our way to.
Plus the roof. The roof was a big chunk too.
Plus the roof. The roof was $170,000. So, yeah. But I'll get those to you in the newsletter next month. Is that okay, Ed?
Yes.
All right.
Hey, this is Janet. I just want to congratulate SDRC, the last year's board, welcome the new board members on the fantastic leadership and all the wonderful things going on at the boathouse. So just a shout out to a job well done.
Thank you, Janet. You left us with a good roadmap.
And I'd like to second that. I kind of hop in and out from Denver, and it's been wonderful to be accepted and be able to, plug in at events. And Chris is fabulous if I ever have questions. It's been really fun to get involved, and I want to thank everybody for their including me. It's been really, it continues to be an exciting adventure.
Janine, we'd love to have you.
Okay, any other questions or comments?
Didn't we forget to welcome Sally to the board as well?
I thought that I did, but welcome, Sally, and welcome, Marnie. So if you want to wave or say something to the group, that would be great, so they know who you are and can recognize you.
Sure. Hello, everyone. I'm Sally Scoville. Really wonderful to be on the board and to support this great organization.
Marnie, would you like to introduce yourself?
Hi, everyone. I'm Marnie Jostad. If you are at the boathouse very, very early, I'm the one sneaking around in the yellow M Hawker. Feel free to grab my arm and say hi. I'm usually just on my way.
Okay. We're all very glad to have both of you on the board. You'll be getting an email from me in a little bit with all the introductory materials and where things are and all the good things to read. And Jackie, you want to introduce yourself?
Hi, everybody. I'm Jackie Lai, and thank you for your confidence in me. I'm really looking forward to serving with all these really great people, and yeah, just really appreciate all of your help. So thank you.
And if you can roll with Wilson in a pair, you can pretty much do anything. So we're really happy to have you.
Thanks, Hunter.
Do you want to comment on that, Wilson?
I know, Hunter, you're being kind of harsh on Wilson.
Yeah, you might want to put it on mute now.
Hi, Mark. You raised your hand.
Yes, I just wanted to say, as we hopefully exit the COVID period for the last couple of years, I just wanted to compliment, in particular, Dan. So many clubs and so many activities have gone south during COVID, and ours has flourished. And I think that, whether it's this meeting or the equipment or the boathouse or the level of competition, it comes from leadership. And I want to compliment Dan for all he's done tirelessly, I should say. And I know he likes to stay kind of in the background, but job well done. And thank you.
Thank you, Mark.
I second that.
I third that.
I second that as well.
Yes, I will also.
I agree. Fifth that.
Dan, we
Absolutely.
appreciate you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
That's the nicest thing that's happened to me on a Saturday. This Saturday. I will call out a couple people. We did have our return to rowing in our COVID committee, and I really appreciate the support and insight from John Chikowski. He is a person who's involved in the South Bay schools and safety and security, and just brought a whole great perspective on what we could do and when we could do it and how we could do it. Wayne Saville for his medical expertise and background. And we also had, who's the fourth person? He's no longer a member, but he works for the federal government. And so he was able to give us a direct insight into upcoming policies and procedures from the state of California. And Glenn Schweikert joined that team last year. And that was giving us a good perspective from his long-term experience here at the rowing club. So that group is really the one that made things possible, and we were able to open the day that the state would let us do things, that's when we did it. So I really appreciate them and everybody's patience with what we've had to go through. I hope that it will never happen again for 100 years. All right. Of course, if anybody does have questions for the board, we're all available. We'll make sure that we update the board membership list in various places. You can always send an email to board@sandiegorowing.org, and that will go to all the board members. And we appreciate your presence and that you make good use of the facilities we have to offer. Anything else? Okay, thank you, everyone. I'm going to motion that we adjourn the annual meeting. Would any board member like to second it? Like Jackie?
I'll second it.
I'll third it.
All board
Yeah,
members,
Jackie.
all board members in favor of adjournment.
Aye.
Yes.
Aye.
Aye.
The 2022 annual general meeting is therefore adjourned. Thank you, everybody, and we'll see you around the boathouse.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dan.
Okay.
Enjoy the long weekend.
Thank
Well
you.
done.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Dan, bye.
Thank you.